special, curious SOS.
Greetings, my nerds. We are back. It is time for the winter match. TY going to be going up against SOS. It's been a very nice day so far. I've really enjoyed both series, to be honest.
Such an incredible way to start things off with TY versus Special. But, I mean, the age-old mantra holds true in our second series, Artosis. La cucaracha does not die.
Oh my god, yes. I forgot all about that. It's fantastic.
You can't sleep on that guy. They forgot about Dre, and look how that worked out, Artosis.
Yeah. So we have TY going up against SOS, and as TY was saying, this is like the scariest guy. In fact, if you ask everyone, there's really only two answers for who the scariest player in the world is to play against. It's Innovation and SOS. Like, really, if you ask top Korean pros, that's basically the two names that they give all the time, and it's normally actually SOS because you cannot predict what he'll do.
No.
He has like more in-depth mind games than anybody, and he brings more new things no one has seen than anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, like, you watch guys like No Regret play, and he tried a bunch of wacky, creative stuff, and the Korean casters were kind of sliding him for that, but I love seeing Innovation in both of its forms. New stuff, SOS, kind of the king of it, and he's been pulling out a lot of it lately.
Well, I hope to see some really crazy out there play here from SOS, because if you're trying to play center against TY, man, I think he's going to be able to tear you apart limb from limb.
You can tell them that you tried, but there ain't no going back. They'll never catch me.
Well, here we go. On to Proxima Station, our blue Terran player. He is
Splice TY.
And the yellow jersey still does not have a yellow introduction. I guess gold, that is.
Yeah, he's not a champion yet.
No.
Round of 8s, round of 2. I mean,
his opponent,
Generic Green Wings SOS.
also not a champion.
yeah, both these guys
This
winning
is just insane.
immense amounts of money elsewhere. But yeah, it's kind of weird that neither of them are GSL champions, because we definitely put them at that level where it's like, well, I mean, there's a certain group of players where you just have to completely respect them. Right? It's like, if you've won BlizzCon or GSL or, you know, your Maru or your TY, you know, it's just like, okay, well, I mean, you're basically the greatest, you know?
Well, I mean, just a couple of days ago, we had, Deer and Classic, two GSL champions going up against each other. And now we have these guys who are both just insanely so good, who have still yet to ascend to that level.
Well, I mean, this could be either of their seasons. They've both been in the finals recently. So you never know how that will go down.
Yeah, and when you look at both of these players, what's kind of unique is not that they've just gotten second places like Sue or like a bunch of other players, is that they have ascended to like the pinnacles of StarCraft competition. 2 world championships for SOS, TY winning WESG for $400,000 as the grand prize.
I thought that was 2. Am I wrong?
I thought it was 4. Am I mistaken about that? Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands. And Katowice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's...
Yeah, and Katowice. So it's just been insane to watch these guys crush everyone, but still no Codes. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're about to see, and that is probably second Robo Bay or facility.
Yeah, I would love to see the second Robo build here. He is making a Mothership core. He's making an Adept here as well. Let's see. It looks like it, man.
Where is it going to be?
If I recall correctly, he did not use a Mothership core previously with this.
No, he did not.
Yeah. Okay, he actually bought something else. What did he buy? Oh, he started a second Adept. Okay.
Okay.
So only one Robo as of this moment.
This is interesting. I thought he was going to throw down maybe a gateway to get the faster warp ends there, but nope, not going to go for it. And actually,
I don't know. Okay, well, he's going to do a Pylon Rush, so I do like that. Since he has that quick Mothership core.
So this is weird. This is sort of like version 2 of this build. You know, the first player to do this, and now he's changing it up.
Well, if his decision was to just go one Robo, then that means he'll use more gateways. That's the only thing I can really think of. Ooh, doesn't quite get the Adept in there. So swift moves by TY, closing his wall up. Still going to lose this wall and that reactor, though.
Yeah, it's going to take it out. Now the reactor coming down as well. Widowmine, though, sneakily burrowed behind the barracks, where you can't really see it from this angle, but I'm sure SOS will have seen that.
Yeah, he knows it's there. I wouldn't mind. I think that Protosses need to get good at the Adept dodge. You see sometimes like a high clip of Neep doing it or something. Shade your Adept, walk into Widowmine range, then it disappears as the mine's coming out. Kind of a hard thing to do, but that's a good mine by TY. It's definitely slowed it down.
Now, he hasn't revealed it until now, but finally TY will see that there's an Immortal on the way.
Now, he could be very scared. There's 2 more gates, so this is like 3 gates plus an Immortal. Prism on the way here as well.
Oh, he could have targeted down that mine, but instead, very good respect shown there by SOS to pull back and not try to get greedy to take it out. Still can't find a high ground pylon to stick, and this is a good defense by TY. But a second Immortal here for SOS.
That mine is everything, and the fact that he has unburrowed it like 3 times to dodge it hitting a probe or anything like that is just awesome. He keeps everything back because of that mine. It just does too much damage.
Well, I think that sometimes the mine itself being alive is more valuable than the actual mine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like, thing is, if he walks in that, he loses a unit, and then it's going to recharge. So he just needs to continually dodge this. Now with the Prism, it's a little bit easier to do so.
Is this Haz we're watching? He has a gateway at the bottom of the ramp. Okay. Nice control there with the Warp Prism, saving that initial Adept. There's a very low health Immortal there as well. And Stalker's continuing to get warped in. There's a Banshee on the way as well. Finally, that mine, it tanked by the Immortal. He was trying to glitch it out and like absorb it by lifting it
up. Yeah. Well, he loses an Immortal here, so that's definitely not good. And the Observer comes out right after the mine actually connects a little bit and does some damage, so that's a little bit painful. Continuing to micro here. SOS is super duper all in, and soon there's going to be a Banshee out, which, yeah, Stalkers can hit a Banshee, but the amount of damage that Cyclones and Banshees just kind of dish. This is a very scary army.
Oh, Warp Prism very low, and it's going to have to be very careful as it pulls back, but finally, SOS has made his way up the ramp. Now, there is a Banshee added in with 3 Cyclones. Only 1 overcharge that's not really going to reach a whole lot.
Ooh, this Stalker in the front should be able to get picked off. He's super deep in the red. Would love to see him pull that back if possible, but he's microing so frantically right now. Second Immortal coming in. Okay, he's repositioned his units, so they're going to be a lot stronger now.
Yeah, Immortal's in the front.
God. He's going to start almost one-volleying these Cyclones.
Oh my god, I think he might have done it. SOS might just have too much. The Banshee can't even like cloak, even if he had researched that. It's going to go down, and now more and more SCVs taken out as they push forward.
Yeah, he's just kind of hit this critical mass where the Cyclones are not holding on anymore, trying to pick off as much as he possibly can, picking them up in these the medevac.
Oh, the Immortals are going to go down here. This Banshee will drop as well. TY pulling back and more warping in here for SOS.
This is so tough right now, really on both sides. They're both completely putting out all the micro that they have, and in fact, he does have to pick up, that overcharge really saving him for a moment. But without an Immortal here, it's so hard to kill the Cyclones.
Absolutely no more overcharges. That Warp Prism's still very, very low. And this repair from TY getting a lot of value. Now he's actually not respecting the SCVs. They're going to move forward and actually almost take out a few of those Stalkers.
TY might just barely have held this now. I don't think there's anything left aside from this one last Immortal.
Oh my god.
Like, the Immortal is it. If he can't break him with this now, what else do you do? TY has 2 command centers.
Yeah, he's going to be double producing SCVs here. Still has a bunch of Cyclones at the front, and this is going to have to be it. He's repairing that Cyclone. That one's going to drop this Immortal, getting a lot of damage. Barely pulling that Cyclone back, and he'll save it.
That's it. GG. The one last Immortal here that he was able to afford right now helps him to punch through. That was back and forth. It was crazy, but there's SOS for you. Proxy and Robo and killing off TY.
Just incredible. SOS, the craftiest, trickiest player we have ever seen. And it works even against the best players.
Indeed it does. There's not really anyone smarter out there than TY, but at the end of the day, this is part of SOS's power. He'll come in, pre-prepared build that you haven't really seen or played against, And the thing is, he knows how it's supposed to go. He knows the likely things you're going to do. He's had more practice in the scenario than you. And here we see him just utilize all that to great effect and kill TY off.
You know, it's interesting that you mention that, because it does take a special kind of practice partner even to practice against styles like this. And aside from SOS, really, who does it better than he?
Well, nobody. Nobody, really. I mean, the closest Protoss that I can name to him would be like Classic or Myungshik. And neither of them line up with SOS all the way.
Absolutely not.
They just have overlapping qualities. So, I mean, he is his own Protoss, no question about that. But likewise, it can be said about TY. You're like, okay, can you play smarter than you normally play? Who are you going to tell that to? Like, you can't practice for TY either.
Like, okay, yeah, I'll just like turn on the other half of my brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep it off for no reason. I guess save energy. Power bill's too much this month. I don't know. Well, map number 2 is Ascension to Ire, and that means that we are going to get ready for a possible upset here with SOS taking out TY. What is happening? We're about to find out as game number 2 starts right now.
I'm running for the river. You can ride, you can fly, you can tell them that you tried, but there ain't no going back. They'll never catch me.
Here we go, our Blue Terran player.
TY.
I'm just staring at the mini-map. Probe is already on the way.
Already. He's going to cancel the hatchery, Artosis. His opponent, our Protoss player, $O$, in the red. He is
Generic Green Wings, SOS.
all right. It's out there, Artosis. But truly, where's the best place to proxy double robo?
Well,
That's fine.
I mean, I think this probe is for harassment. Like,
Is this a scouting probe?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is one of the maps where you really do see quite a few proxies. So a quick probe scout is not necessarily terrible. And when you're like SOS with his type of micro and speed behind that keyboard, you know, he can kind of send this over and harass nonstop, right? Like, right now you see 2 SCVs following the probe, so that's lost mining time. Sure, he's lost some, but, you know, he's making the probe kind of pay for itself, not mining.
Yeah, I love that second SCV because it canceled the shield recharge. So it did a little bit of damage, also made it slower to get those shields back.
And actually, this is a funny little mini game within the game when you have such a quick probe out there. If you can cancel any shield recharges, then it really minimizes the damage the probe can do, because the shield recharges quickly, and then it gets back to attacking SCVs and harassing.
And indeed, it is being so...
Oh,
wait,
my
did he
God.
cancel his own? I think the SCV got in the way of his other SCV building.
Might be.
So I guess kind of a moral victory there for young Probius as he gets the command center to be built off-center, but... you know, not going to be that big of a deal. And nothing proxied here, nothing wacky. So maybe we get to see what is, I guess, also truly a great facet of SOS and find out that he can actually play the macro game as well.
It's a funny thing because we don't see it too often, but he can.
Although I think he is actually in the proxy way up in the upper right-hand corner. So.
Oh, Stargate in the main.
Oh, okay.
All right, I guess not, but... I mean, that would not have been weird at all, right? Like, a lot of people like to proxy their Stargate right now.
Yep.
Anyways, the Reaper coming up right before the Adept pops out. Not going to be able to kill any probes, most likely.
Nope, just going to be scouting it up. And, I mean, he'll see the natural. He sees everything that should be there in the main. So nothing initially, but he will not scout, as our observers are showing us, the Stargate.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is coming back with new seasons of Stargate.
Oh, the Stargate TV show?
Yeah, it's coming back.
Did you like the Stargate TV show?
I liked the movie.
The movie was really good.
Did not like the TV show. I felt like it went on a little bit too long.
That always happens with TV shows. If a TV show is popular, like, it starts to get worse. Eventually, you know? Like, look at Simpsons.
Oh,
We're like
yeah.
49 seasons in, and I don't know.
Okay,
I guess I haven't watched it recently.
Yeah,
but
the last season of Friends should just be called Enemies because it's too long.
Friends should just be called enemies, because it's an enemy to intelligence. Quite literally, I read a really good essay on it, actually. But Ross would be a StarCraft fan, no doubt.
Definitely. He was underappreciated.
But his friends pressuring him to, you know, do a different...
Story of my life.
Yeah. So this Reaper, kind of cool. It's slowed down this third base just slightly, I think. The Oracle having to come down to clean it out as well. You know, that's used up energy and everything.
It's an oracle that's not harassing. It's also an oracle that's not flying into a Widow Mine. Although, right as I say that, watch this oracle just fly right into it. Just face check it.
This happens, man. By the way, this third command center, he's going to be able to scout this right away. So that's really good intel. Slows it slightly. Oh, good call there.
Oh, my God. You have to know it's a building command center. Oh, my God. Well, the mind game survives.
Yeah, and it's so terrible to lose an early Oracle. Like, it's one of the worst feelings in the whole world as Protoss. But when you've scouted the third command center, you realize that you're not going to die right away for this Oracle. You have a much longer time to make up for the fact that you lost it, because TY just doesn't have the unit set to do too much. This is all mostly defensive units. So SOS from here, he can be a little bit greedy. Like, look, he's getting his Forge and his Twilight. He's making another Oracle. Yep. In fact, he's going to 3. This is some really cool play, going for lots of Oracles.
This is like the Beyond strat, where you go out with Mass Reapers and they hold it off, and then you're like, but what if I built more Reapers?
Oh, yes.
So we'll see if he stops at 3. I think 3 is the number I've seen most commonly from Protoss. If they do want to go up to more Oracles, could always just, there's a 4th one on the way.
So let me talk about this a little bit, right? This actually, I'm going to give credit for this build that he's doing, even though it's refined and more fresh, to Super. Super actually busted this out against Maru last season in Code S. And it's just like lots of Oracles and going Glaives and +1. You can throw down so many Time Warps. Obviously, there's harassment opportunities. If your opponent moves out at the wrong time, your Oracles can massacre an army. But basically, Marines kill Oracles, so you have a bunch of Adepts that kills that. And it's a pretty neat unit composition, to be honest.
Well, here we go. Triple Oracles. Now,
oh my God. Okay, well, that's an SOS thing right there. He's going for Stim.
Wow, and he will cancel it. He's going to take it out. Now, will he lose an Oracle? No. And he should know that there are... Okay, well, that's not how you use your Oracles, but overcharge back at home to defend. We'll see what else they can get done. He is still attacking that building, if I believe.
Yeah, the Oracles are not being used perfectly here because Marines are hitting him, so he's trying to save everything, but his gates are all finishing right now, so he's about to warp in a ton of Adepts and just hold this.
Yeah. So he should be fine back at home. No Stim ever. There's 5 Oracles out for SOS.
Now that is completely SOS. He has figured out, apparently, that you can fly in and cancel Stim with Oracles.
What a timing.
I don't know if this is something that can regularly occur, but if you can force a cancel on Stim... Wait, no, he just Stim, didn't he?
No.
Does he have Stim or not? I'm so confused right now.
I do not...
Was that Combat Shields that he canceled? Did I not hear a Stim during that last... I'm so caught up with how weird this is. Because when I've seen, for instance, when Super went Glaives and lots of Oracles, it was about Stasis Wards, it was about killing drops incoming. It was really cool play that we've seen almost not at all since then. But he killed an upgrade. I wasn't looking at what upgrade it was. I just assumed it was Stim. I don't know. I guess we'll see in a second here. Okay, he did get...
Okay, so it was
actually
Combat Shields.
It was Combat Shields, but imagine if he had got Stim. Wow.
Yeah, no,
okay,
that is what it is truly terrible. Okay.
You do the rest of this, and I'm gonna sit here and...
Jack can go back to arguing about politics or whatever they talk about. I don't know what the little people talk about during the games. Not the game, that's for sure. But such is our lot. Now up to 6 Oracles, 7th on the way.
This is cool, man.
We're gonna watch one Widow Mine kill every Oracle, Artosis.
Oh, God, that would be so brutal.
I mean, Adepts and Oracles, this is going to be something probably TY is not expecting.
No, this is not exactly a strategy. Even this many, this is way more than what Super was doing.
Shading all the way, and he's going to get into a weird position, and now behind this, all these Oracles going to swoop in. But there's another, here we go. Going to take out these Widow Mines, hopefully not run into them. He does get a nice revelation, losing a bunch of them.
This is not going nearly as well as SOS had planned.
He's going to keep going for it.
Some funky stuff we're seeing there with those Oracles not being quite as efficient as he wants. Still pushing through lots of Adepts here.
Decent SimCity, but look at the SCVs forming a wall there, preventing the Adepts from getting all the way in there. They're all going to get cleaned up. The Oracle count is now down to, I believe, 4 or 5. He's going to keep going for this. The SOS does not stop.
Yeah, I think he kind of has to, because he has no technicality to his army. He only has Oracles and Adepts. So, if he doesn't do something with this, TY is just, he's building sophistication. When you're only fighting against Adepts, like, this isn't Phoenix Adept, but it's the same type of idea, right? Like, he's only going to kill you at low supplies. If you're both maxed out and one guy has Adepts or Roaches or something like this, it's not going to beat, like, whatever you have that's sophisticated.
So SOS has warped in 7 Zealots back at home. There are Liberators on the way, and that's probably not going to help out that much.
Right.
It's also units warped in back at home and not continuing this pressure. So kind of confuses what SOS is going to commit to.
Don't worry, Rapid. He just made a Stalker, so he's fine against the Liberators.
Wow. I always just died to
Yeah, see this? He's like, all right, well, I guess we got to do this.
Okay, well, rip the one Stalker, but Liberator's taken out. I believe there's a second one on the way, although maybe that's with the army. Okay, there it is, defending.
Well, he's making 4 Liberators at a time against someone with Glaives and soon-to-be Charge. Lots of Oracles still out, so maybe he can kill the ground army, but...
Still none of that hits air, so...
Yeah.
Ooh,
Nice Stasis Ward.
Yeah, catches a mine along with that. The Adepts sneakily sneak past, but I think they're going to commit to shading instead of killing that command center? Okay.
I think he's Micron at home here. Yeah, just GG's.
They're all dead. Wow.
Okay, so that was not really anything like, even though it opened similarly to what Super did, it wasn't anything like that. This was like, I think he was trying to find some sort of timing in here where he catches a group of bio and just massacres it in a matter of seconds, and that didn't occur.
I feel like there's a way that if executed slightly more crisperly-esque, then this build could definitely have caught TY in a rough spot. If it did cancel Stim, if it had caught another upgrade or that chunk of bio. There's critical mass that I feel like could have gotten to. Unfortunately, TY way too good, holds it off perfectly, evens up the series at 1-1.
That was very interesting though, especially like how he ran in to kill an add-on. Like specifically, he targeted that. He could have thought that it was Stim because there was a third command center, like multiple Cyclones out. Maybe he thought, this is all a little bit late. Maybe he doesn't have Stim yet. And of course, if you cancel Stim on a Terran, there's very few games you don't win where you get Stim right before it finishes. That upgrade takes a long time.
Yeah.
It takes all wind out of Terran sails.
Marines suddenly become StarCraft 1 Marines and don't do anything anymore. Well, here we go. Our final map of the night for these two will be Newkirk Precinct 1. Will be our first player to advance. Our last player, or almost our last player to advance, we get that a little bit later on. So winding things down to find out which players will be in the GSL round of 16. Who's next?
I'm running for the river. You can ride, you can fly, you can tell them that you tried, but there ain't no going back. They'll never catch me.
What?
Yeah, man.
I've never heard that
You
sound
gotta dial
before.
that back.
Splice. TY.
BK's got like a turntable up top. And he's just gonna remix every song for us. All right, well that's TY. His opponent in the Protoss colors is the red player. He is
Generic Green Wings.
I do have to point out that TY added his glasses. Literally the only thing that could have made TY smarter than he already was.
Yeah.
Adding on glasses.
People think it's glass. No, it's actually just crystallized intelligence. Seeing right through it.
Another one base build here out of SOS. It could be something as simple as just a quick Oracle. Could be something as crazy as double proxy robo. We just don't know.
His new glasses give him X-ray vision. He turns to the side and screen cheats off SOS. You ever had that problem when you're playing next to maybe like your brother or whoever you played against? They just keep looking over at your screen?
Oh, when we had 2 computers finally, they were in different rooms. So I did not have that.
My brother used to do that to me all the time.
That's terrible.
We had so many fights. Well, I would always beat him anyway, so. That's the end of that
Sick
story.
humble brag.
I know, right?
I used to beat my brother
I was
at a
just
game.
actually always the best. Every time we played Age of Empires 1, I was the best.
I used to beat my brother who didn't make a living.
Well, he
off
would
of
always
games
like
at
break
the end
my
of the day.
Legos after that, so I
Yeah.
felt like it was my moral victory. All right, well, standard start, but like you said, not standard when it comes to SOS. What is the craziness that we'll see out of him this time?
Not so
Nobody
sure.
knows.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be a Stargate. It's if you're just sitting in your main base,
This
it's
is
the only thing that really
like
makes
the
sense.
Protoss 111. It's the Stargate.
Yeah. Well, it's like this is something that can snowball a little bit. You fly your mothership core over immediately, and you start reducing marine counts.
Yeah.
And then Oracles that fly in have potential to do devastating damage, right? Because you need to have like 5-6 Marines to fight against an Oracle. And if the Mothership Core can down that number, that is money right there.
Indeed. I always hate it when my numbers get down, man. It's the worst. Expansion on the way, though, for SOS, so maybe he needs more money. Maybe he is going to play this out. But here's an Oracle on the way, and that Mothership Core about to hit the barracks.
Yeah, now with an Adept on the way and the Mothership Core, either one of those could take the mine hit for the team. The Oracle is the most important part here. The Mothership Core has to get some damage done too. Okay, this is like the Adept plus Mothership Core combo here. Can do a lot of damage to these Marines. This is dangerous right now for TY.
Yeah, I think a couple of those Marines are going to get one shot. Yeah, there's one. Knows the placement of the Widow Mine as well, so he will be able to avoid hitting that with his Oracle, and that is about to fly out. Yeah, there it is, halfway to the base.
And look at this. The mine kind of walks up. It's going to protect the Marines, but nothing is protecting the SCVs in the mineral line, right? Like, I believe he only has one Widow Mine.
Yeah.
Or am I crazy?
No, he does, in fact, only have one, and everything there's going to die. He can't mine anymore.
Ooh, this is a crazy amount of damage right now already.
Oh my god, there's only 3 Marine, or 4 or 5 Marines. There's that mine coming back to defend, but now it's not up at the front.
Yeah, it looks like TY is actually going to rocket across the map right now with a counter drop, realizing that there's probably no real units at home, just the Oracle that could fly there or another Oracle popping out. So I kind of like this idea. You know, Oracles don't really stop a medevac of Marines too well. Like, you can force it to lift off, but that's about it.
All right, so the defense of this push should be impossible, but with double Oracles back at home, the counter harass is not going to work out.
Yeah. So this...
Oh my god, he's going to kill a Cyclone with a Mothership Core.
Oh, that was cool. You don't see that every day. But this drop is doing very well for TY at the same time. He's killed an Oracle. He's forced a ton of energy out of him. They're no longer harassing him. And now you just kind of run away, and this will waste at least a ton of Oracle energy.
I think there's going to be another overcharge just to make that a little bit difficult to defend. Yeah, there it is. Viking won't be able to go through there. The Mothership Core might just back off from here. I don't know. It always surprises me. I think, okay, well, now we're done with the rush. But no, SOS just stays and makes it more effective.
He's very good at eking out damage in all sorts of ways. Not that way, but other ways.
That is the wrong direction.
Yeah. Another Oracle popping up, still making Adepts. You know, normally when you go for like this Mothership Core Oracle rush, a lot of times you follow it up with Blink. It just kind of like is a very strong attack that can come up and deal with a lot of the units that dealt with your initial rush, and it also is good defensively. So that's normally what we see, but instead, SOS, I mean, this guy plays on the fly, off the cuff, better than probably anyone of any race, really, when you think about it. Adding a third Nexus, continuing to make Oracles, we could see something similar to the last game, composition-wise.
Maybe we'll get this chance to see the effective, perfect use of that mass Oracle play. Certainly something I'm not very used to from other contemporary Protosses. Like guys like Hero probably would not go for that. Or as I say that, he does it in his next game. I don't know, but kind of cool. A paltry force, a motley crew out there on the map.
A motley crew.
Indeed.
I like it.
It is
very
both
much.
motley and paltry.
It is paltry. I like the word paltry quite a bit.
Yeah, he's
motley crew is good too.
First foreigner to win an OSL as well. Guillaume Paltry.
Oh my gosh. Now, some good tagging going on right now, kind of keeping track of what's occurring. A lot of Adepts being made. Reactored Widow Mines are on the way, so things could go wrong as well. That is Stim this time, by the way, if he goes for a cancel.
All right, yeah, it is there. Will he go in for it? Moving the Shades up, and there are the Oracles at the top of the ramp. Gonna complete the Shade. Now he's gonna power through the bunker with the Oracle damage.
Wow, that deals damage so quickly here. There is a turret that he's pulling back to, though, and utilizing those medevac pickups as well.
Needs to turn off one of those Oracles, but lots of damage now. Shade into the main. Widow Mine will hit. That's a Widow Mine. It's not going to hit Oracles. 2 more at the top, though.
Oh boy, and he actually targets down these Widow Mines very quickly with those Oracles. Phoenix really doing his job as well.
I think he's just done too much damage here.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
You just can't do anything else. Thankfully, there's no Phoenix to kill the dropships, but that's it. SOS advances in first place to the round of 16.
That's right. 2-1 over Curious, 2-1 over TY. This is a guy that you can never underestimate. He comes with such strange strategies and just kind of outdoes you. And this is what he's done today. So SOS's hopes for BlizzCon definitely still alive.
I'm just so shocked. I mean, it felt like TY was almost destined to make it out in first place, and now he'll be going to the losers match for a rematch, Artosis, against
either Curious
or Special.
Yes.
But I think it's very likely he'll get a chance to play Special again.
Sure.
Depends on what happens.
And that was a great match before, so I do not mind seeing that one again, I tell you.
Wow. We could actually have the rematch and then the upset finally. Oh, so many sick things possible. But the sickest, of course, is SOS making it on to the round of 16. Beginning an interview with him anytime now to hear any more of his sick thoughts. Sick in both senses. They're pretty good, but they're also just terrifying.
Indeed they are. This guy really a mad scientist of Protoss.
He goes back home, we got Protoss test tubes.
H조의 1위 진출자
There we go.
김유진
Go into an
선수입니다.
interview
축하드립니다.
with SOS.
네, 오늘
So
더
SOS,
쟁쟁한
you're the first player to
선수들과의
advance on to the
경기였는데
round of
먼저
16.
1위로 올라가게 됐습니다. 소감 어떠세요?
So how do you feel about that?
좀 투테란이라서 힘들 것
So
같았는데
first of all,
다행히 올라가서
I thought since
최종전
there
갔으면 아마
were
힘들지 않았을까
two Terrans in my
생각하고
group,
네,
it was going to be
역시
really tough.
김유진이다. 정말
But I'm really glad that I made it
참
out as
빌드가
first
너무
place. If
좋다.
I fell into the
이런
final
찬사들이
place
계속
match,
나오고
I
있습니다.
felt like I might not
테란전에서도
advance.
전진 투로그 쓰셨잖아요. 시작을. 그건 GSL을 위한 준비였어요.
So you have these wacky proxy builds. It's very unique.
전진
Did you
로보를
prepare
하고
those just for
이후에
today's
다
matches?
운영 빌드를 준비했었는데
네.
태양이가
I
그 마인을
prepared
앞쪽으로
both of those
빼놓더라고요.
proxy
그래서
robo builds
그냥
and
즉흥적으로 다
another
우주관문으로 바꿔서
late game
게임했던 것
build for
같아요.
today's games.
테란전에서도 참 피지컬이
But I changed my mind
저그전에서도 이원표 선수와
and
함께 할
played
때도
a lot of other
정말
cool
놀라운
builds.
피지컬에 깜짝 놀랐습니다. 1세트부터 계속해서 피지컬을 자랑하셨어요. 1세트 빌드는
Oh, and not
준비하신
only
거예요, 그것도?
builds and
제가
strategy, but your
원래는
micro seemed
어제까지만
really
해도
good as
계속
well.
예언자로 하는 운영만
Said,
준비했었는데
until yesterday,
너무
I
저그들이
prepared
이제
a lot
그
with
예언자를 잘
oracles and
상대하다
oracle
보니까
play.
게임이
네.
너무 힘들더라고요. 그래서
네.
But since
어제 좀
Zerg really
바꿔가지고
defended
오늘
well
쓰게
against
됐던 것 같아요.
oracles,
저그전에서는 전체적으로 이렇게
I
분광기
had to,
견제를 활용한
change things up and twist it a little
플레이가 승리의 원동력이 됐는데
It's twisted so we can
확실히 하기 어려운 거잖아요. 혹시 조언해줄 수
your
있는
warp prism
팁이
in the
있을까요?
first
그럼 분광기 견제에서
build that
조언해줄
you
게
played
있다면?
against TY,
피 없는
I don't
유닛만 잘
think many
태우면
players have been able to perform a
그냥
build like
빌드만
that.
잘
How did you do
따라하면
it?
어느 정도는
네.
이게
Said,
저그가
yeah, as
잘
long as you can
막느냐가
follow
아니고
the
포스가
build,
얼마나
then
잘
you should be able to do it.
컨트롤하느냐에 따라서
네.
I don't think
틀려지기
that's how it works,
때문에
SOS. You're pretty
컨트롤만
good.
잘하면 될 것 같아요.
네, 정말 그 말씀을
So it's not
1세트에서
about
정말 잘
how
알았어요.
well you can
다
defend
보고
it.
있었거든요.
It's all about how well you
이원표
can
선수가
execute it.
계속해서
Oh, I love
대군주로
that.
계속 보고
That is
있었는데
super
그 데뷔도
interesting
했는데
to hear from him.
뚫어내지는 걸 보고 와
Even
피지컬이
Curious
요즘 계속해서
watched
연습량이
every
어느 정도
single
보이는 것
move
같거든요. 요즘
that
연습량
I
어떠세요?
did through his overlords,
테란이다
but he
보니까
still wasn't able to handle it.
진짜 많이 하고 빌드도 많이 준비했었는데 역시 대회는 즉흥인 것 같아요. 즉흥이 더 잘 되는 것 같아요.
Yeah, I prepared a lot.
저 한편
A lot of
GSL의
strategies, a lot of builds.
현재 팬투표로
Since
또
it's an
가게
offline
되셨어요.
tournament,
또 SNS로 그
you
기쁨을
have to have
표현하시기도 했는데
this
어떠세요?
game sense
프로토스
to be able to handle
선수들이 다
every
쟁쟁하다
moment.
보니까 될 줄은 몰랐는데 이렇게 되게 돼서
So
기뻤고
your
요즘 GSL
practice
때문에 연습도
worked.
열심히 하고 있기 때문에
Now, do you have any plans for GSL versus the world?
하겠습니다.
네, 오늘 바로 도추첨이 있거든요. 혹시 원하는 그림 있으세요?
GSL 대 월드요?
He said, I'm just going to keep up
신기한
my
개진
good work
조추첨이
in my practice for
테란만 안
GSL versus the world.
좋겠어요.
아 그래요?
네.
제가 뽑을 건데 한번
So
열심히
after today's
해볼게요.
matches, we're going to have a bracket draw for GSL versus the
네,
world.
자, 김유진 선수 오늘 참 좋은 모습 보여주셨습니다. 팬들에게 한마디 마지막으로 들어볼게요.
as well as, you know, what do you want to happen there? He said, well, as long as I don't face Terrence.
다들
So any
걱정이
words for your
많으실
fans,
텐데
SOS?
그래도 제
I just want to throw good
기준에서는
performances
열심히
to
하고
my games.
있으니까
to my
좋은
fans.
모습 다시 보여드릴 수
But
있도록
behind the
하겠습니다.
scenes,
감사합니다.
I've really been
네,
practicing
알겠습니다. 다시 한번 1위 진출
hard
축하드립니다.
so that I can show those good performances. So.
네, 이렇게 H조의 1위 진출자
Cool.
진행하고
I
있는
love what he said there
김유진
about it's
선수와
not how well the
함께했습니다.
opponent can
자,
defend,
오늘
it's how well
32강이
you
마무리되면
execute.
한동안은
He was talking
GSL을 만나볼 수가
specifically about the
없는데요.
Archon
그
charge
대신
level? Was
굵직굵직한
he?
스타트 축제가 계속해서 기다리고
I think
있습니다.
that's the build he was
혹시
talking
GSL
about. I
대 더
might have to
월드
go back and
최종
re-listen,
명단이
but
나왔습니다.
yeah, that was cool. Anyways, this is the tournament he was talking about. He was voted in as the 8th seed, in fact, just barely making it. But that is the scariest lineup of pro gamers you could ever see from the Korean side. Look at that.
Oh, absolutely. You got
So-
Innovation TY and Beyond, only Maru just barely missing out on that.
Yeah, and this is basically like the best foreigners.
Neeb and
Like-
Showtime, oh my god, just so good.
I mean, there's a few that maybe are missing here, but like, this is truly an all-star match. I cannot wait.
Absolutely. So that is what you should look forward to from GSL versus the World. We'll have the group draw coming up a little bit later on, so you do not want to miss it.
Yeah, that's going to be after all the games today. But first, we got to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we are going to have Special going up against Curious. I think that this is quite a nice match.
Right. Now, this is the match that Illegal Lag predicted to be the last one, so I'm not sure. They said he was going to win 2-1, but, I mean, everything thrown up into the air. We'll be right back after a short break.